Welcome to the Bees, Knees, and Hummers Hangout, early spring edition. It's March 22nd, and we're expecting very, very high winds today. So I made sure that the gardens are well watered so that when the wind comes, they don't get dehydrated. You see here is a very, very arid area, and that will be a cactus garden. Whoops, the window just left. Over here we have a baby rose bush right there. And as we walk down the things, we'll see some asters that have planted themselves for the little bees, some choya that has been planted from someone else's garden, some lavender, some more lavender, and some more choya that's been planted. Again, we have the wonderful rosemary that likes to do lots of stuff. Then we have some pyracantha here that will be cut in the fall to resemble a large bush. A lovely rose bush that has grown back. Two choyas that have just been planted for protection here. There will be some annuals placed in here. And also this will be cut down to the ground so that it can provide another area for planting annuals. Now we'll go into the back of the bee's knees proper. Okay, we go through this porch area. And we have another porch. Okay. So here we're coming upon the herb garden. It has a lovely scent now. You can hear all the birds because they're having a blast in the water. Here are the herb gardens. They just recently have been a lot of the twigs taken away from it so that they can breathe. The cilantro and coriander plants itself. So out of one plant you can get this kind of a thing. This is a wonderful sage that provides a lot of shade for some of the herbs. Here's some more coriander, cilantro, and then here's some tarragon that's coming back. And through here now you can start seeing the peppermint that's growing back. It's a lovely, lovely ground cover. If you don't know what to put down and you have semi-shade, it will keep the ground very, very organically good. And then you'll be able to plant things later. I might plant more things later there. Here we go. Now we'll take another walk through the garden. Here's some knick-knick or uva ursi. Just a few days ago it was all red. Now it's half green, half red. And I pulled up some of the mint and just put it in a pot because it was invading some other area. Here are two baby fig trees that are just starting to have one leaf each. This will all be spearmint in here. You see the baby spearmint growing up. And we have chives. There's a bubble mint that was planted amidst all these rabbit ears. And beyond the rabbit ears, we have mugwort and a rain barrel. And we go further. Over here, on the right-hand side, we have a little bit of comfrey starting up. It started from 4 plants, which you can see the 4 different distinct areas of planting. However, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Anyway, there's quite a bit. There's maybe 20 plants that have come from the 4 comfrey plants, and this is a very, very large sage bush that when it blossoms, the bees love it as well. Here's a bee and butterfly bush that started taking over the entire garden, so I took it down, and of course it's growing back, which is lovely. And so you can kind of keep it growing back. From growing back, you can keep it dwarfed, and it still is a good thing for the bees. Coming into another area of the garden, we can see this lovely pear tree that really had a problem. 2011, we had Arctic temperatures, -2, -4 degrees, and a lot of it froze. It was a 40-foot tree. You can see the internal trunk has been cut. That's what was dead. Now it's coming back. Around it is the bamboo that's going to be eradicated. In a few days, I'll be starting doing that. And then we have right over here some hyssop, some verbenas coming back. These are all perennials. Welcome back, verbena. And in here we're going to be planting, we can see a raspberry bush, although I think that it might be a blackberry, but we'll see. Once the bamboo is taken out, then we'll see what's going on with the raspberry. I'm glad that its roots are still good. It's going to be very windy today, so I really soaked the gardens, and then tomorrow I will start doing the eradication of the bamboo. This is a lovely young cherry tree, and it seems to be doing well after it's been cut back. It'll do much better once the bamboo is out as well. Here we're in the yin yang gardens, the meditation gardens. Right over here is some yarrow that has just been cut back as well. Some more yarrow. We're in the north side of the yin yang area. You can see here is a pathway that goes from north to south, and then way over in the south area is some verbena that has planted itself, and some grasses. The grasses I'm going to be taking out eventually. This we'll see. It's supposed to be a bush that did very well here. However, you notice it's half dead. So I may be taking it out and just putting a potted plant in here, because this seems to be just right here. This 4-foot area seems to be a dead area for the gardens. Maybe there's some electricity or some weird stuff that comes through. And here we have the gooseberry bush that is starting to get nice and green, as well as a lovely grape. It's just starting to blossom. And here we have some wormwood. Wormwood is a really excellent herb. I planted it there before I had big fences, because there was some wild animals coming through, so it kind of deters that. Here is an area where Gigi loves to run, and it's a nice shaded area, just naturally shaded. Okay, coming around the yin yang garden, so we have a number of different bird baths in different levels. This is a deep one, another deep one, and then over by the rain barrel we have a shallow one for smaller birds. They know where to go. They're not going to drown themselves, so it's a kind of nice thing. Right over here we have the goji berry bush that is doing quite well. Not blossoming yet, but just started turning green. And over here we have some garlic and some more sage. And over here it hasn't started growing yet, but we had some wonderful rhubarb at one time, so it will grow back. Here along the bed, along this area here, is a wonderful area. I'm going to be planting vegetables in here. You can start seeing the bee balm is starting to come up, and some verbena right there. Some more verbena, verbena, verbena. Oops, there's an elm there that I'm going to have to cut out. Okay, some more verbena. We have also some hyssop. Right there is some hyssop. Let's see if I can get it. Right over there is a hyssop, some more verbena, lots of dandelions, and another elm tree that I'm going to have to pull out. Okay, now we're leaving the wildlife gardens proper, and we're going to go just into an area where we have containers. This is an area where also a whole bunch of vegetables are going to be growing with shade cloth. Right over here is some kale and some collards, rainbow chard. And right in here I've planted a whole bunch of sunchokes. Right over here we have a baby lilac tree that made it through the winter and it was transplanted. So as soon as it gets too big for the pot, it'll be put in an area near the wall where the bamboo was. Here's another baby tree that made it through the winter. It is a Japanese Japanese holly, and it grows upright and not very large, so that'll be a nice thing for someplace. Here's we have a wonderful pomegranate, and it usually starts, it's one of the last things to start to bud, and it's still alive. There's no problem with it. It just hasn't budded yet. Smart tree. Over here we have another Japanese holly that'll be planted with the other one. Somebody gave me a bearded iris, so it's there. And some hens and chicks, and then some other little areas of water for the birds. Here we have a baby jujube tree that's doing quite well. An apple tree that I'm making into a small apple tree. Here's the lilac again, the second lilac tree that were there for $1. And over here we have a larger jujube tree that's doing quite well. So coming around, have a wonderful grape vine that has never given grapes yet. I'm here it will. Seems to have some lovely blossoms, so maybe it will. If not, I'll cut it down and try to put it in the ground and see if it'll work. Over here we have Arctic kiwi, and they told me it was a female and male plant, but I think they're both males because I've never seen any blossoms. I may have to get a female to put in that pot. Here's some more garlic. A small bee and butterfly bush. Here is a Hangout that's growing out of its pot. It's going to need to be transplanted. Here's some trees where I cut all of the roses and just put the stems into some pots so they grow. Over here we have a lovely dark prune tree, and it's already blossomed and it's starting to come out with pips. So as soon as we start getting the weird weather, I'm going to be covering it so that it doesn't get harmed. And over here we have some wisteria. In the future, this is the art studio, but in the future this area here is going to be a teaching area or a gathering area where people can sit and learn about gardening and other wonderful things for sustainability. And here is When Pigs Fly. So those are the gardens. I hope you enjoyed our walk through the Bee's Knees and Hummer's Hangout Gardens in very, very early spring, and we'll leave you with some lovely, lovely grape blossoms.